How much time? 30? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you. What?
Todd from the Daily Mail.
Hiya. Quick one. When you were writing the songs
Quick one for
originally...
you, what does it feel like to represent the newspaper that used to support Adolf Hitler? Who supports the banker Kabbalists that are ruining the world?
I'm not going to go into that at the moment.
Well, I am.
We'll have a chat about it another time.
Did you vote Tory?
No.
No one ever votes Tory, did they?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, their thems and comrades alike. Welcome to the Brews at 10. On my left eye, I'm your host Lefty. A very warm welcome to everybody on stream. I feel good tonight, people. There's lots to feel good about, so let's brew this thing. Some fantastic news concerning a story that we've been following for some time on the channel, as well as yours truly having a personal investment as well. But for now, let's catch up with who's in chat. Great to see you this evening. Davinia Robbins, Doc Davies, what a Florkies in the chat as well. Specs Bean Farmer. Great to see you all. Quality chatters. Yes, we're delighted to hear the news of the PAL action court victory. I'd like to take this opportunity, people, to very clearly and openly say, now that the Met have issued a statement saying that there aren't going to be further arrests, that I oppose genocide and I support Palestine action. And you feel free to say it with me, people. Feels good to say it on stream, out loud, about Palestine action. Which I don't have to abbreviate either, although that's only for algorithm reasons. As well as to save space on the title of live streams. Speaking of which, hope you're all gonna do your duty and hit the thumbs up button on this stream as we get into proceedings. Also, please vote in the poll. We've got a poll on tonight's stream. Pretty basic, really. We've seen some polls with the Greens on 50 or more seats. We've seen some with fewer. What do you think? Will they win 50 seats or more at the next general election? Say you aye or say you nay. Please vote as you enter. Hit the thumbs up button. Looks like you're all doing well in the chat. Good to see you as well. Wanna flockies? Rabsy Nesbitt. Divinia. That's an old BBC comedy, isn't it? So, used a snippet or two of some of their famous clip compilations. Yeah, great comedy about life under the Tories in Govan, in Glasgow. Is it pronounced Glasgow or no, Glasgow? Random comments. Yeah, hope you've checked out the recent video on the channel as well. Just a bit of a snippet of Nadine Dorries getting humiliated by the Green Party's Dr. Ellie Jones. Quite rightly on that immigration issue. Man United owner Jim Ratcliffe bringing up some ridiculous made-up statistics in a statement the other day. So, just what a twat. What a twat. But please do check out that video. In fact, I'll urge anyone who might be watching this on desktop right now, or maybe on your smart TV, I would urge you to take out your phone or your tablet. Please do open that video and use the new hype feature. You can help to boost videos on the channel with your hype points if you're watching on mobile or tablet. Your points refresh every week, I believe every Friday in fact, so you should have some fresh points. You get enough points to hype 3 videos per week. So please do consider using at least a third of your quota on that vid. It's only a short one. A few splices in there, we can't help ourselves when editing. But do appreciate all of the support, wherever it comes from. And it comes from the marvellous members that we have on the channel as well, the mighty Brew crew, some of whom are in the house as I speak. And oh, that's the one thing I forgot to do. 185 it is actually. Currently on 185. Towards the target of 250. Really delighted to have got to 185. Thanks to the people you can see on your screen. And people like Davinia Robbins, who's celebrating a year and a half, 18 whole months of membership. Awesome. We always like to see celebrations of membership milestones on the channel. However long you've been viewing, subscribing, supporting the channel with a membership, I really do appreciate it. It's great to see the community expanding. And other ways you can support the channel apart from the methods I've already mentioned. Super chats open on this stream if you're watching live, as well as super stickers, another fun way to support the channel. There's also super thanks if you're watching back later on. We do get quite a few people watching back later on. 10 pm's not everybody's ideal listening time. And there's a Buy Me a Coffee page in the description of any content on the channel, so do consider using that. Thank you very much, everybody. 185.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Well, what a turbulent week it's been, people. Mostly concerning Scandalson. We'll get on to Scandalson later. In an all-round pretty dire week for Keith as it is.
Oh, God.
We have, of course, the glorious news that the prescription of Palestine action in court has been decreed as illegal. However, the group do remain temporarily prescribed for now. It seems to be a formality, awaiting a useless waste of time appeal that Shabana Mahmood's going to put in, no doubt. But this is a momentous occasion for justice where protest rights are concerned. So we'll be getting into that, as well as I mentioned earlier, that question time appearance from Nadine Doris and these comments about the Man United owner concerning immigration. There's been some pushback against that, including from within the club. We've got hot seats coming up, the latest on Gorton and Denton. We also have another by-election results, which is pretty interesting as well. All of that plus more, the latest on Pam Bondi's insanity, with a bit more of a look back on her appearance in Congress this week. So plenty to get our teeth into. Get yourself comfy, get the kettle on. And let's give a huge shout out in the chat please to Hedy with 5 gifted memberships. Long-term viewer of the channel. Thank you very much for your continued support, Hedy. Always appreciate that. Please big up, big up. Let's see some appreciation in the chat. Some Solidari-Tea. As I update the membership goal to 190 now. Fantastic. We are definitely within range of the 2 ton, the 200. Can it be done? We've already superseded maximum dart scores. Can we go further? Let's see. Thanks again, Hedy, for that. And also great to see a celebration from Davinia of 18 months of membership once again. Right, people, let's get into proceedings, shall we? A short but excellent comedy clip to kick things off. If I told you this was a transcript from what happened in Congress with Pam Bondi this week, I dare say you'd believe me, but this is another great parody from Claire Blackwood, just a short this time. But there is a link in the description. Please do go and subscribe if you do like a bit of political parody. Great channel. There's a link to the YouTube channel as well as the video. So go and subscribe, show some support. To enjoy this bit about Pam Bondi. Very good.
Okay, Miss Bondi, can you confirm that at all the dinner parties Hannibal Lecter attended, he did not eat anyone? Shame on you. There is no evidence to suggest that Mr. Lecter ate anyone's faces. So he did not kill anyone. You're a piece of shit. Excuse me? You disgust me. Miss Bondi, I'm asking you to confirm that he didn't kill anyone. You know what kills people? Your face. I'm sorry? It's ugly. This is ridiculous. We have Hannibal Lecter on camera confessing to eating people's brains. You were trying to deflect from all of the incredible work Mr. Lecter has done. What work? He is a brilliant psychiatrist who has done more for fava bean sales than anyone in history. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming your face. What? For Hannibal. He asked for it. So you lied. You admit he eats faces. Don't you dare accuse me of a crime. You are wasting the American people's time when we should be focusing on what's really important. Is it the stock market? It's the stock market. Jesus Christ. Oh, Mr. Lecter says you need to pick up some Chianti on the way home and leave your door unlocked.
Fantastic, Claire Blackwood. Hit those links. Go and subscribe. Yeah, absolutely spot on there. Absolutely spot on. Great to see you as well, Odin Allfather in the chat. Odin Allfather, great to see you. Oh, and we have a bullseye in chat as well. Ruth Guthrie receiving a gifted membership live. Nice shot, Eddie. Great aim there. Always like it when that happens. Bullseye. Brews at 10 bullseye. So, kicking off with some good news, which is always nice. What to begin with though? We've got clips, we've got a bookmark or two. I think we'll go for a clip first, instead of reading out an article. Let's see what we've got here, people. Yes, for anybody who wasn't aware, who's just joining us on the stream, perhaps you've just woken up. Maybe you work nights. Who knows? But thanks for joining us. Yes, the prescription of Palestine action has been deemed illegal.
Jurassic Park.
Got some clips from the Royal Court of Justice, outside the Royal Court of Justice, that is, of course. You can't film inside courts here in Britain. It's not the United States, you know. Of course, yours truly being part of Defend Our Juries, which protests against the prescription of Palestine action. As well as our other viewers, shout out to my brothers and sisters in Defend Our Juries if you're watching. Yeah, utterly delighted at this. First of all, let's hear from Zoe Rogers. It's Zoe in this one. Just a little snippet from, or is it The Observer, I believe? An interview with The Observer. This is prior to the announcement. This is from earlier in the week. But Zoe's one of the people who was on trial.
I know you've been very clear throughout that it was never your intention to hurt anybody.
Sorry, this concerns the Elbit Systems protest as well. There was some huge news about that as well this week. Acquittals for not all of the charges, but some of the charges for 6 of the Filton 24. Including aggravated burglary, as well as other charges. And this is one of the Filton 24, Solidari-Tea. Free the Filton 24.
This has been used as a sort of case in point that members of Palestine Action were going out, were likely to continue going out to cause physical harm to people during these raids. From your experience of the other people in the organisation, how do you feel?
Our case has been used to justify prescribing Palestine action. Lies about our case have been used to justify the prescription of Palestine action. It was quite horrific being in prison, being completely powerless and voiceless, watching people like Yvette Cooper going on TV and being able to say anything prejudicing the jury pool deliberately about my case and not being able to respond with the truth. Really, that's the only way you can justify prescription, by misrepresenting.
Yeah, and if you've not caught up with that Channel 4 Dispatches episode as well, I've managed to watch a little bit more of that over the last couple of days. Really do recommend that. We know that it was an affront to justice as it was, but there are further revelations about the process, and that's what has brought people like Zoe Rogers here to trial for being part of Palestine action. However, today we received the great news from the Royal Courts of Justice that it was deemed illegal. This is a huge blow for Yvette Cooper and Shabana Mahmood, who's going to contest this, like I said earlier. It's only going to delay the inevitable, really. Fortunately, the judiciary has seen more sense than the executive in this case. Where the police are concerned, there was, of course, a massive turnout outside the Royal Courts of Justice earlier today from Defend Our Juries and others. Unfortunately, working today meant I couldn't make it down there myself, but do have some clips. I do know quite a few people who were down there today as well, keeping me posted. So thanks again to everybody for keeping me up to date. Right, we're going to take a look at a clip now, actually, where the police unsuccessfully came along and tried to disrupt the support for PAL action outside the Royal Courts of Justice. Just wanted to share this one with you because it's quite satisfying, as well as seeing the great turnout of support for PAL action, of course. Essentially, collectively, everyone just told the police to F off. So let's see what's happening. I believe this comes from Declassified, this video, so shout out to Declassified. Declassified UK, I think it is. Credit where it's due.
Prosecution may be.
I don't think they're listening, pal. I can see some familiar faces in these clips, but he couldn't really even be heard, let alone obeyed, as it were, or cooperated with, whatever. Just no chance. Basically, you're gonna have to take us all away. But they didn't have the resources for that, because the very thing that they're protesting against is on trial as they speak. It's awesome. Yeah, a lot of familiar. In fact, you might recognise someone who we interviewed there and pause this in a convenient place, actually. Just on the right of your screen, if you want to check out, was it the most recent? Yes, it was, because it was Trafalgar Square. The most recent London Defend Our Juries protest that we covered. We have since covered one here in Manchester, where this stream's coming to you from live tonight in the northwest of England. So, yeah, an interview after a banner was dropped from Westminster Bridge there just prior to the Defend Our Juries action. A lot of other familiar faces I can see in this as well. I won't name anybody else because I don't have express permission or anything. But we are now free to read out those signs ourselves, or even post them in chat if you like, because I'm not going to grass, and it doesn't matter if I do, because they're not going to arrest anybody anyway. I oppose genocide and I support Palestine action. Thank you very much indeed.
Palestine action makes us proud! Say it clear and say it loud! Palestine action makes us proud! Say it clear and say it loud!
There's a lot of heroes here as well. A lot of the people in your shot here have not just been arrested with Defend Our Juries previously, but also in other protest organisations that yours truly has been involved with as well, including Youth Demand, Just Stop Oil, and now Take Back Power, which is the latest organisation. Coming to a thing near you.
Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! We won't be intimidated!
This is great. So essentially at this point the police have just given up. They're not even there now.
We won't be intimidated!
No, look, technically these signs are still illegal. Whilst you know, some of you might get into trouble. But just the collective power as well. It goes to show. It goes to illustrate. This will be a case study in the future, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. Not just with UK politics, but internationally, where protest rights, where protest law is concerned, were attempts by governments to clamp down on international human rights as well.
What's up till we're liberated? What's up till we're liberated? Liberation, liberation!
I'm actually really gutted that I couldn't get down there today, to be honest, people. But massive turnout of some fantastic action takers and supporters as well.
We believe in liberation! We believe in liberation!
Ah, awesome! Moshi on Toast, you made it. Great to see you. Yeah, great to chat with you earlier as well. Moshi on Toast, one of the arrestees from one of the Parliament Square actions with Defend Our Juries. Let's please big up Moshi on Toast in the chat, please. Everybody, one of the hundreds and hundreds of people who's now been arrested with Defend Our Juries. Looking likely that there'll be no further consequences for anybody who's taken action with Defend Our Juries. Knock wood, whatever. Said that on Friday the 13th. But it's unlucky for Starmer, it's unlucky for Yvette Cooper, it's unlucky for Shabana Mahmood, but lucky for justice, lucky for protest rights, and lucky for people like us. And for Moishe on Toast, so please, yeah, big up in the chat.
No to racist occupation! No to racist occupation!
And the flags and watermelons in the chat as well. Awesome. Yeah, God, I love these people. To be honest, yeah, it's nice seeing a lot of people who I know. Some of them I've even been on action with. Yeah, I saw at least a couple there.
Yvette Cooper, you will see! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
I think I know who's leading the chants as well. Like a legendary chanter, clearly as evidenced here.
Palestine will be free.
And that even sounds like it's without a megaphone as well. That's so awesome. Yeah, a bit of FOMO in not being able to attend myself, but delighted with the result as well. Please do check out some of our previous content. We have covered Parliament Square actions, Trafalgar Square actions, St Peter's Square here in Manchester as well. We've got some interviews included with Moise Jean Toast as well in the archives. Other people from Defend Our Juries, other arrestees who took action as well, Alex and Pete. Please check those out. Great news. And we're going to hear from another great person as well, Tim. This is Tim Crossland. This footage comes from Defend Our Juries itself, just to remind you. Wasn't at this one. No exclusive content, unfortunately. Well, there'll be more to come soon, don't worry. Don't you worry, people. We love it on the streets. I'll just let this play. I guess it speaks for itself. An excellent oration after the verdict was announced from Tim Crossland. So it's Yvette Cooper who's the real criminal where all this is concerned.
Let's just be clear what's happened, because some of us are still pinching ourselves. A divisional court of 3 senior judges, and let's be tactful, none of them with a reputation as radicals, has just ruled the government's ban on Palestine action unlawful on the basis the Home Secretary failed to follow her own policy and violated the Human Rights Act.
Hold it really close to your mouth, all the way up, yeah.
At a stroke, Britain has become a far safer country. Those thousands and thousands of terrorists walking the streets have been magicked back into what they always were: peaceful protesters against genocide and the corruption of democracy. Nothing like this has ever happened before. It's a properly historic moment, and you'll all remember you were here.
Yeah. You know, I might drop a few F-bombs here because I'm very passionate about this, as you know, but fuck Yvette Cooper and fuck Shabana Mahmood for this draconian legislation. And look at the kind of people who've been arrested protesting it as well. We're talking about elderly people, nonagenarians, people like Sue Parfit. We're talking about people like Mike, who was blind, arrested several times as well. Very brave man. Elderly and disabled people, but people from all walks of life as well. But when your draconian legislation includes the arrest of those demographics for holding up some words on a placard, it really is a new low, and this is unprecedented, and it's a massive victory, and it really does show Yvette Cooper and current Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood that they can't just ride roughshod over international law. They can't just ride roughshod over our hard fought for protest rights. Let's remind ourselves. And to just go prescribing groups that inconveniently point out the complicity in international war crimes that this country is committing won't get past the courts. So, obviously, how can I put this? I have some my relationship with the courts. Personally, I've had acquittals, convictions, and cases thrown out. A whole mixed bag. But on this occasion, I'd like to commend the panel of 3 judges for their decision. It's also not just a win for justice today, it's a win for common sense. And all they've done is follow the letter of the law, which organisations like Defend Our Juries have been pointing out for some time. And it's, yeah, it's a mighty relief. It's a mighty relief that this has happened. And that's just, I'll try not to interrupt so much as we hear the rest of this from Tim.
Friday the 13th. Unlucky for Yvette Cooper, Lord Wolney and Elbit Systems. What does it mean? Maybe it's a bit early to say, but I'll try. This is a country that defines itself by resistance to genocide. It's the most important part of our national story. Every politician should remember that. Never forget. So what is the lesson for our political leaders? From all those juries, from Bradford to Birmingham, Manchester to London, who refused to convict members of Palestine Action. What is the lesson of the thousands of people willing to sacrifice their freedom, getting arrested for terrorism, to express their opposition to genocide and corrupt attacks on democratic freedoms? What is the lesson from the High Court? It's that when you side with genocide and the profiteers from genocide, you don't just lose your soul, you lose the public too. And you lose elections, starting with Gorton and Denton.
Yes. Yes, you do. And yes, you're going to. In just under a fortnight now, 13 days to go until that one, hopefully, on a stream. In a fortnight's time, we'll be celebrating a victory for the Greens. It's going to be close. Get into some of the latest on that hot seat later. But he's right. They've lost it. Labour are going to come third, whatever happens.
And just before I turn to what happens next, I'd like to pay tribute to some extraordinary people. To Huda Amori. Who took on the government with this case so skillfully, so courageously, despite being so wrongly branded a terrorist. And she did it not just for herself, not just for Palestine Action, but for the Palestinian people and for all of humanity. Because central to this are crimes against humanity. To every single one of the thousands of people from all walks of life, the vicars, the doctors, the shop workers, the young and the old, the Christians, the Quakers, the Jews, the Muslims, who risked so much to expose this corrupt and authoritarian ban, to every single person who supported the Lift the Ban campaign, whether with practical or moral support. To the juries who have resisted immense pressure to bring conscience and humanity to our politics and our criminal justice system. They are the voice of the people. Yay! David Lammy, your assault on trial by jury is an assault on democracy. Yay! To all the actionists, Filton and others, I think I can say this now, for refusing to be bystanders to horrific crimes and for filling the moral and legal void left by our so-called leaders. It makes us proud to be human again. So what?
I don't know what that was, the noise.
What happens next?
Oh. It's on the video, it's I wasn't tapping the mic or anything.
This crazy and unlawful ban.
No, it's dead. It's dead.
Oh, it was the megaphone dying.
This crazy and unlawful ban has led to many wrongs. It's not just the violence of the arrests of thousands of peaceful people.
That's why I should have been there. I've got a very reliable megaphone. Always got spares.
And the charges under terrorism laws, the raids on people's homes, the lost jobs, the withdrawn bank accounts, travel visas denied for visits to sick relatives. It's the damage that's been done to the fabric of our democracy. When thousands of peaceful people are handcuffed and dragged into police vans for taking part in peaceful vigils against lawlessness, with an astonished world looking on. Even the White House has told Starmer he's got this horribly wrong. And yet they're appealing crazy. As a non-violent movement committed to dialogue, Defend Our Jury sees an alternative to thousands of legal actions for unlawful arrest. And just think about that. Think about the figures of that, what that could cost. There has to be a better way.
And every one of these people being labelled a terrorist as well, by the way, it's just beyond ludicrous. I briefly sat at one of the demos. I wasn't arrested. I'll just let this carry on anyway. We'll do a bit more analysis at the end.
So we're calling for a meeting with Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, and Mark Rowley, the Met Commissioner, to discuss reparation, truth and reconciliation for what's happened, so that the wrongs that have been done can be put right, deeply, properly, so that the fight against genocide and fascism, instead of dividing us, unites us again. Thank you.
Well done.
Excellent stuff there from Tim. That's Tim Crossland, who I guess summed it up as best as anyone could outside the Royal Courts of Justice today. Moisha, your phone rang as soon as you got in and you missed most of the PAL action stuff. Oh well. No, really great to see you on stream. Edward Sexby's with us as well. Nice to see you this evening. And Graham Turner joining us as well. Currently top of the charts. King of the comments. Big Jerry as well, nice to see you. So hopefully you won't have your day in court, Moisha. This appeal from the Home Secretary will come swift, and essentially hoping the judges are as sane as they were in this case, they'll just tell them to fuck off. Please do double check in chats that you're on live chat and not top chat, by the way. Just bringing up an article now. Oh, we've won a medal in the Olympics, and now that's... forget everything else. That's a good achievement, though, in the skeleton. What can I... Oh, I can squeeze in something political with the Olympics. It's a slight story about it. I think a Ukrainian athlete, it might have been in the skeleton as well, actually. I believe had a helmet with some victims of... Ukrainian victims of the Russia-Ukraine war on the helmet and got into trouble for making political statements. Defied the ban, defied warnings, but was then banned. So did manage to squeeze in something political about the Olympics. But that's a different topic. We're on here with the PAL action prescription being deemed illegal. Just a few quotes here that I'll read out. We know the story, no point in going over all of that again. Just the sheer neck of Shabana Mahmood to try and have us believe that, quote, the prescription of Palestine action followed a rigorous and evidence-based decision-making process endorsed by Parliament. Now do check out that Channel 4 Dispatches episode if you want to know more about why that's complete bollocks. We heard how there were some very spurious links being made towards Iranian terror groups, I believe it was, in some of the air quotes, huge air quotes, evidence, and the phrase nudge nudge wink 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 coming up. And I don't mean in the quoting a classic Monty Python sketch sense. Plus a lot more. It's definitely worth putting on your watch list if you have access to more for. There you see, 2,000 people being arrested at demonstrations in total, including friends and viewers of this channel, you know. For example, sorry, I'm always scanning for people I recognise. So yeah, there's a pretty high bar for prescribing groups as the T word. Let's not forget that they were prescribed in the same session with the same legislation as other far-right groups. I mean, that's ridiculous to try and, again, elderly people, disabled people. These aren't neo-fascists. What was the name of the group again? The Crazy Mad Bastard Murder Squad, whatever they were called. That one. Mayhem. What was it? If you can recall the words in the correct order, then let us know at myleftdiuk@gmail.com or post in chat if you're watching live. Hello Snake, good evening. Idiosyncrasy. Good to see you, and Dylan Mayer just joined us in the chat. Solidari-Tea. Zach Polanski's welcomed the ruling and said that those charged with supporting Pal Action should have the charges dropped. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Including Moishe on toast. The phony Zionist Board of Deputies of British Jews and the Jewish Leadership Zionist Council of Zio Genocide War Crimes said they were deeply concerned by the High Court ruling. Why is it deeply concerned? Deeply concerned by the High Court ruling and welcomed the Home Secretary's plan to appeal against it. There was, of course, and the BBC were doing their best to try and push it as much as possible. Apparently, a record number of, air quotes, anti-Semitic incidents in the UK. How could this be without Jeremy Corbyn as Prime Minister to stir this up? Unless, of course, that's a complete load of bollocks. The actual real reason is that they're counting purely legitimate critique of Israel. That old number. So they can cry more, as far as we're concerned. Sorry, just I had a screen freeze there for a moment. Hope everything's good at your end. How are the Jamaican bobsleigh team doing? I'm not sure. I've not been keeping up with the Winter Olympics, to be honest, much people. Yeah, it was the helmet with the images of the people on. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier on. Might have omitted to mention it was on a crash helmet. I did see some footage of the USA team, the bobsleigh team, failing at the launch when they is it a launch when they start? If it's not called a launch, it should be. Just make a note of that there. Right to Winter Olympic board. Call it a launch. Okay, and it was, yeah, just sliding down. As I think one of them managed to make it in and went down quite slowly by themselves, whilst the other three were just like, oh god, they went all the way to Italy for that. Ah. Doc, thanks for the feedback on the stream. All good. Glad it's all good. Don't mind a few flickers on this side as long as it's all coming clear for you, Brew Crew. So apart from that, I don't know too much more about the Olympics. We will be moving on to other matters in a moment.
Can you dig it?
But just a reminder, vote in the poll if you're just joining us on stream. Most of you are pretty confident that the Green Party are going to get 50 seats or more at the next general election. 95% of you at the moment. That's significantly high, I think we can say. As high as Bob Marley on top of Mount Everest. Just got some flickerage and buffering at this end again. Just going to hesitate before I open the next vid. One moment. Bear with a few seconds, people. Sorry if you're experiencing buffering at your end. Oh, good. And the chat's catching up as well. Chat's coming in thick and fast also. Oh, which does help. Yeah, I think they got a few goals at the bobsleigh launch, which is now its official title. Just one final word on the PAL action prescription. You might remember we reported only 22 of the 600 MPs in Parliament voted against the prescription. There they are. In fact, I'll read them out as well. Pretty small on screen. Sian Berry, Ellie Chones, Sparna Begum, Adrian Ramsey, Shocker Adam, John McDonnell, Adnan Hussain, Ayub Khan, Diane Abbott, Tahir Ali, Carla Denya, Jeremy Corbyn, Zara Sultana, Bel Ribeiro Adi, Richard Bergen, of course, Kim Johnson, Nadia Whittam, Imran Hussain, Graham Morris, Ian Byrne, and Clive Lewis. Colm Eastwood as well, who the BBC can't find a picture of, apparently. There you go. All 22. Some of them lost the whip for having the gall to recognise that this was illegal, an affront to protest rights. So well done to the 22. There they are. And just very quickly, there were some abstainees as well, where this matter's concerned, especially where the Liberal Democrats are concerned as well. And I think it's quite after the fact, as well as having the brass neck to say from Sir Ed Davey, that is, that he thinks today's decision was correct. Meanwhile, the entirety of his party didn't even have the bollocks to vote against it like these 22 people did. So I think, yeah. Don't want to hear that coming from anybody who either abstained or voted for it, thank you very much. Including Sir Ed Davey. Can do all the stunts he likes. Still a Tory in the yellow rosette. Don't you think?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Okay, people. I think we'll move on now.
On with it! Yes! Get on with it! Get on with it!
I won't go through any more clips of yesterday's question time. I'll just quickly remind you to check out the most recent video on the channel, which was members first, but became public earlier today. Please do watch that on your phones as well as your tablets. And when you hit the thumbs up button, please do give it some hype points. Just a snippet from that. But the question that they were debating at the time was whether Jim Ratcliffe's comments from earlier in the week were correct or not. Essentially, he got it mathematically wrong. He tried to insinuate that the population of the total population of the country has gone up by 12 million people in the last 5 or so years. In fact, it's only 2 million. And he described colonization of migrants, which is, there's obviously been a lot of pushback to that. It's completely disgusting as well. But Gary Lineker, who was forced into leaving Match of the Day because of saying that murdering children's wrong and calling out to genocide and war crimes, these extremist views that he has. But he does now have a podcast. I believe it's a podcast with Alan Shearer, another former England footballer, both strikers, of course. And this is what he had to say about Ratcliffe's comments. Let's see what's happening.
Jim Ratcliffe obviously has come out with some comments in an interview he did. He said that Britain has been colonised by immigrants who are draining resources from the state. You can't have an economy with 9 million on benefits and huge level of immigrants coming in. The UK has been colonised by immigrants, really, hasn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people. Factually, he's obviously incorrect. The Office for National Statistics estimates the population of the UK was 67 million in the mid-2020 and 70 million in mid-2024. Owners of football clubs, right? They're generally the billionaires. They often seek to divide, dividers. You know, I watched it and I mean, the hypocrisy really.
Yes, Pep's response was good as well. Pep's also been outspoken, very clear, supporting Gaza, supporting Palestine as well. He said, I can't, obviously, one of the famous quotes is, I'm not neutral, I'm Palestinian. So well done, Pep, yeah, and well done, Gary Lineker. You're going to see Alan Shearer in this clip, but he doesn't actually say anything in the clip that I'm going to be sharing with you. But I'm sure that he shares the sentiments that Gary Lineker's displaying here as well. So yeah, shout out to Pep Guardiola, manager of Manchester City, who are going to win the league this season.
The guy's a migrant himself, an economic migrant. He lives in Monaco. I mean, you can have a gripe all you like, but at least be here and be paying tax and contributing to our society. And I would say a lot of the immigrants, the migrants that do come in, contribute enormously, and facts show you that in terms of revenue, paying tax, etc.
Yeah. When it came to paying tax, when it came to actually contributing to the economy, Ratcliffe didn't want anything to do with that whatsoever. Piss off to a tax haven, but he's such a patriot, and to make such comments from abroad as well. It's just, like with GBBs sitting in France talking about the UK when they are literally tax dodging at the same time. Just completely lacking any self-awareness as well. What can you say? What else can you say?
Whereas, Jim out there, in Monaco, is doing everything he can to avoid paying tax, I would suggest. So, yeah, and also, you're one of the owners of Manchester United, a club that has a lot of players from overseas. When he's talking about colonised by immigrants, what is he?
He doesn't look too old. He's in his 60s now, I think. And I think he was a footballer in the 80s, wasn't he? So he was in his 20s in the 80s. You'd assume that he was born in the 60s. So
is it okay if you're a white person that you're living abroad and not a brown or black person? I don't know. Only he can answer that question. But lots and lots and lots of my friends that support Manchester United have come on and said similar things to what I'm saying now.
Yeah, I saw a compilation on Politics Joe earlier. Recommend checking that out as well. Not going to share that on stream. But luckily, people on the street, most of them are saying that he's an absolute tit. They're saying those things. Unfortunately, there was one person I remember who sort of agreed, but he said that he shouldn't have said them. He was one of those who does the old, this is what everybody's thinking, right? But you don't say it, do you? Because then you get cancelled. We have Gary Lineker here. Well, that's Alan here, who's literally been, air quotes, cancelled for saying that kids shouldn't be murdered in a genocide. So, yeah, if you want to talk about cancel culture, maybe look at where it's actually coming from.
Lots and lots and lots of my friends that support Manchester United have come on and said similar things to what I'm saying now. I think they're very disappointed in that. I mean, look at the story alone of Amid Diallo that has ended up here. So I find that deeply concerning that an owner of a football club can say that.
Yeah, he's a migrant, and I've seen other memes going around of the current squad. This is the current Premier League squad in the 25-26 season without migrants. Do you want to take a guess in chat how many players would be remaining from the normal starting 11 players for United this season? Take a guess. In fact, I'll leave that one with you for a moment or two. Just let that simmer. That counts as a tea pun. A brewing pun. Say 3. We've got 2 3s in the chat. That's 2 for 3. Sounds like I'm doing the cricket or something. That'd be really shit though. 2 for 3. This is awful. And we're 2 for 3. You're making me doubt myself now, actually. I'm going to have to pull the fucking thing up. I can't even remember. I think I saw it on a Blue Sky account. It's 2 or 3. Yeah, it's 3. It's 3. That was what I was going to say first. I'm sticking with 3. And these are his players. I mean, was he on acid or something when he said these things? It's just, it's mad. It's like, you know, okay. Have your tablets now, time for fucking bed. No, he's not that old, but those comments are certainly senile. Well said, Gary Lineker there, by the way. Totally forgotten the name of his podcast that he does now. But the point I wanted to make was that since he left Match of the Day, I believe that viewing figures have dropped. Meanwhile, his podcast was a roaring success right from the start, and I believe some episodes have even rivaled the, viewing figures, if you want to put it that way, for a podcast, but views of Match of the Day itself, which is, of course, a staple programme on the BBC. Do you know how much it costs? Not the entire BBC, I mean, Match of the Day, anyway. We need to get on. Because we still have that hot seat. We still have the upcoming by-election in Gorton and Denton. Hopefully going to be bringing you a hot seats tag intro with a theme tune as well soon. I've got some ideas, no spoilers. Except to say that there will be something. Doesn't count as a spoiler. So then, what's the latest in the seat? There have been some hustings. We mentioned last time Matt Goodwin chickened out of the local hustings, didn't want to face the residents, the constituents. It's like, you don't sound you're from round here, mate, to be honest. And we showed up here just like a spiv. I do like to call him a spiv. Regular viewers might have noticed by now. You jumped up little spiv, aren't you, Goodwin? Meanwhile, Hannah Spencer, of course, Gorton and Denton resident. A plumber training as a plasterer as well. She didn't chicken out. Even the Tory didn't chicken out. You won't fancy their chances much. But we're going to just see a bit from the Manchester Evening News hustings, because they held one of their own, so to speak. So if you're holding your own, Phil, that expression is disturbing. Hannah Spencer here.
I think being British means chipping in and mucking along and being part of a community that looks after each other. I know that whether you've lived in Greater Manchester for all your life like I have, or whether you came here yesterday, if you're part of our community and you're mucking in, you're one of us. I don't believe that we should start demonising people who are immigrants or from an immigrant background. We're seeing these real splits forming in society, which really worries me, and it's pushed by divisive politicians. And I will say, after the Manchester Arena terror attacks, like a lot of us who lived here in this city, who were absolutely appalled by what happened, what we saw in the days and weeks and months and years after, for those of us that were here and experienced that, was a coming together. Whether we're from a different background, a different religion, if we cared about each other, we cared about each other. And that is what being British means to me.
Absolutely, 100%. Anyone watching live or back later on from Manchester, obviously you'll know about the Manchester B symbol, you'll know about Don't Look Back in Anger, how that thing started. There are people with ulterior motives who would have you try to direct hate at certain members of the community. Let's be honest, minority communities, the BAME communities of the country, with false associations with these kinds of heinous acts. And yes, I know that there's been one in the headlines today, a plot to attack Manchester that was foiled, fortunately. Disgusted to hear that that was being planned, of course. Some reports suggest that it could have been one of the deadliest attacks in the UK ever. And let's not forget, of course, we just mentioned the arena attack some years ago. Even if you just go to Victoria Station itself, all of the B symbology, it's at other train stations as well. It's all over the city. It's unmissable. We even have cafes and things named after it. It is just a Manchester thing now. The B symbol, you see it on cars, car stickers, even in people's windows. It's just something that we can all agree on, is to not blame minorities for these atrocious acts. Another reason that I'm so relieved that that plot was foiled and the two individuals now arrested, probably spend the rest of their life in prison, thankfully. The agents with ulterior motives that I just mentioned, let's be honest, the Zionists and Zionist lobbies operating in this country would have tried to use that and run with it, and you would have never heard the end of it from the likes of even official Israeli spokes, Zippy Hotovelli, these kinds of people. So yeah, not only were many, many lives thankfully saved, but also it prevents these this ridiculous rhetoric coming from the Zionists, the same sort that was used at the Manchester attack that took place at the synagogue last year as well, of course. So that opportunity was denied, and we know that they'd have taken it, we know that they'd have run with it, so to speak. But let's, of course, remind ourselves that that is an outlier, an event like that. These people would have you hate your communities in their entirety because of one or two outlying incidents, but we're not going to fall for it. We're certainly not falling for that here in Manchester. A bit of a rant there. Bit of a tangent. But I do have some stats now. It's quiet in the background, let's bring some music in. There we go. So we're still on hot seats. I'll bring up the logo just in case you need reminding. Yeah, latest stats, latest odds. 4-6 on now, I believe. Odds on favourites. That is Hannah Spencer, the Greens. A Reform at roughly 1.5, 2-1. Labour now are like 5, 6, even 7-1, I think. And the bookmakers, I think, are certainly worth paying more attention to than some of the pollsters where this is concerned. So, in a week and 6 days, people will go to the ballot in Gorton and Denton. I'm hoping there'll be enough going on for it to be worth doing perhaps a late night live stream. Remains to be seen. More on that hot seat to come, but we do have a by-election result that came in today as well. I'm not sure if you heard about this one. It is interesting for a couple of reasons. The first one isn't good, but then we'll finish on a high. And I'll just bring up the results. Bitton and Woodston is a Reform win. That's a Reform gain from Labour. However, the good news is the Greens came narrowly second with 27.6%. That's a 16% increase from last time out. It's the first time Reform have sat in the seat. This is a local election council result, by the way, not a parliamentary by-election. But Labour dropping 31%, leaving them in fourth, even behind the Tories with 16.8%. Did you hear that, Keith? Did you hear that?
Oh, God!
So it's Labour who should be stepping aside now. A great fight from the Greens. They're the party to keep Reform out of Parliament, out of councils as well. May being time where we go to the ballots. And that's going to be absolutely brutal where Keir Starmer's concerned. So yeah, if you want to talk about wasted votes, that onus is now on Labour. And how rightly they've earned that moniker as well. Because let's be honest, they've been rather dreadful. Yeah, so don't waste a vote on a has-been party. I want to give it to one that's on the rise. Hopefully, please, we'll see your party kicking into action soon as well. So it's sweet and sour, that result, I guess, if you want to call it that. It is a Reform win, but it shows that the Green Party, demonstrates that the Green Party are the ones to challenge them, wherever that might be.
Oh, no.
Just a quick look at the national poll now, before I bring this up actually, because this one will have a stat in it concerning tonight's poll on stream. Do vote if you've just joined us. Will the Green Party win 50 seats or more in the next general election? 96% of you are extraordinarily optimistic on that front. I'd like to say, without trying to influence the votes at all, that I would share those sentiments. And according to Stats for Lefties, who are sharing Techno UK, sorry, I'm going to have to... Techni UK, sorry, it's not a pollster I'm too familiar with, but according to them, they'll get 54 seats, gaining 50. Reform still with a lead, though not with as hyperbolic a lead as some of those Find Out Now polls have been suggesting that we've seen lately. So that would put the Greens in third behind Lib Dem again. We've seen other polls putting Lib Dem as the likeliest main opposition party. Labour right down there below the SNP and the Tories. with just 31 seats. 6th place. Could that happen? Could that happen? Yes, Davinia, that's still a reform government, and you have to hold your hands up and say that's a whopping majority. Lucky you'd have to get together to challenge them with legislation. They could get anything through. You know, unless we replace the House of Lords with a Citizens' Assembly like we should do, and then we could block the I'm just suggesting that, and I'm also saying that you might want to check out takebackpower.net to find out more about how you can do that. You might also want to check out organisations like Humanity Project, but Take Back Power is going to be an organisation that you're hearing more of quite soon. You can take it from me, people. What do you make of that? Like I said, I'm not too familiar with that pollster myself. Edward Sexby, you're taking it with a massive pinch of salt. Yeah, I think 364 seats for reform. No. It's not going to be Starmer who's standing. You'd have to concede they'll probably try and pull it. Let's say it does become Rayner. Becomes the leader this summer. Let's say, hypothetically, wink wink. They might manage to pull it back a little bit in the polling, but I would say that this is still a bit overstated. So that poll thinks that the Greens will get more than 50 seats, and so do most of you who have voted. Keep your votes coming in, people. Do appreciate that. On to other matters.
Down with it.
You might want to get yourself a stiff drink. Make sure that you're sitting down for the next portion of the live stream. It does come with a warning.
Warning. This section of the stream contains details of the inner workings of Peter Mandelson's twisted brain. Anyone who isn't a serpentine weirdo may find the following scenes distressing. No, seriously, it's really bad.
He's really bad, but from where we're sitting, the news is actually good. Let's see what's happening. He thought he might have managed to slime his way out of this one. Don't think that's going to happen this time around. He's been urged to answer some questions. The United States have been in touch. Let's see what's happening. Could he get subpoenaed? That's another important question. I'll just bring up a bookmark. It's just going to get worse and worse for Scandalson, isn't it? Is there enough popcorn in the city of Manchester? I don't know. I'm going to have to start going to Popcorn Anonymous at this point. And if there isn't any such support group, I'm going to start it. There was something else as well about Andy Mountbatten Windsor. Just shortly before I came on stream, apparently he shared some Bank of England, some documents with a banker. Was it from the Bank of England? So I'll just bring up this article now. One moment. if you do have any popcorn to hand, you might want to crack that open now. Let's turn this music down. So let's see what's happening. In a letter to Scandalson, two Democratic members of the House Oversight Committee said it's clear that the former British ambassador to the US possessed extensive social and business ties to Jeffrey Epstein. They added Scandalson holds critical information linked to their investigation to Epstein's operations and have requested that he makes himself available for a transcribed interview. Scandalson's expressed regrets for his continued blah 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 blah. We don't buy that. The Democrats say they're seeking to uncover the identities of Epstein's co-conspirators and enablers and understand the full extent of his criminal operations. Well, they're all there. Some of them have been redacted. Some of the redacteds have been redacted. We're going to see more about that shortly when we see Pam Bondi's appearance. Just stunningly, you can't believe this person takes themselves serious as a politician or even as a human being. More about that later. Got a lot to say and vent about that. But the letter also states, while you no longer serve as a British ambassador to the United States and have stepped down from the House of Lords, it is clear that you possessed extensive social and business ties to Jeffrey Epstein and hold critical information pertaining to our investigation of Epstein's operations. Given the appalling allegations regarding Epstein's conduct, we request that you make yourself available for a transcribed interview with committee staff regarding the crimes of Epstein and his co-conspirators by the 27th of February. A similar request asking Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor to answer questions was made by 16 Democrats on the Oversight Committee in November last year. Mountbatten-Windsor was stripped of his titles, including Prince, last October, following months of pressure over his ties to Epstein. Tisk. It's just more for the tisk files, isn't it? I want to Floggies. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you soon. Solidari-Tea. There he is thinking, how can I try and make people feel as sorry for myself as I do? Just knows no shame. Get that serpentine bastard off my screen. Can't bear to see Peter Mandelson anymore. Well, let's hear what Corbyn...
Warning.
Not that one. Let's hear what Corbyn has had to say. He's done an interview with Politics Joe. Again, shout out to Politics Joe. He's always had his, not just suspicions, but he knew what Mandelson was like. He knew what he was all about. And just adds a bit more to some of the previous clips that we've shown before.
As far as I was concerned, I didn't want Mandelson anywhere near anything because of his past record and his behaviour. And the fact that even Blair had to sack him from the government twice. Mandelson was very much behind.
Yeah, and how low is Tony Blair? You know, illegally invaded a country. Is obviously, you know, party to destruction in the Middle East, as well as being on this ludicrous board of peace. All of the dirty dealings that he's done while he, you know, feathered his own nice post-prime ministerial nest for himself and his son, as well as still having his fingers and the puppets on, the strings, whatever, on the Labour Party, as well as Scandalson. But twice, even he got rid of him twice, because he was such a liability. Starmer didn't look into that fact, didn't come up in the vetting process. Neither did the fact that his then nickname, as it still is now and worse, is the Prince of Darkness. Can't put two and two. Oh, this is a complete. Oh, how could this have happened? We're not buying it.
A lot of the
no chance.
Hostility that I received from a lot of people, powerful forces, and he did actually admit once that he said he made sure he did something every day to undermine the Labour Party. And then I'm very sure he was very involved in advising on Starmer's campaign to become leader. Mandelson then ends up as ambassador to Washington under pressure from apparently Morgan McSweeney and others.
Mm-hmm.
And Starmer claimed...
It's funny, all these patterns and circles and all of the rest, it's so clear now. And I've certainly been harping on about this for years, either on this channel or on social media before the channel was set up. Yeah. Those links, those ties, the way that they undermined Corbyn, and I'm going to point something important out, something else to be cheerful about as well, when we hear the rest of this clip.
He didn't know about Mandelson's continued involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, if he didn't, he should have done, because the records of Epstein and his behaviour, yes, they've now come out in greater detail with the congressional papers, and apparently there's still even more to come. But it was an awful lot of evidence about Mandelson with Epstein in many, many places and many locations.
You're walking around, was it on the island itself or one of his houses? Anyway, in a t-shirt and your underpants, for God's sake, while you're talking to Robert Maxwell's daughter. Oh yeah, barely knew them. I'm just the sort of person, oh hey, hope you don't mind, just crashed in one of the spare rooms there. As for the trousers, don't know what happened to them. I am Scandalson after all. Anyway, come and look at this over here very awkwardly while I'm still stood here in my t-shirt and underwear. Fucking hell. You know the picture I'm referring to. Oh, barely knew them. No. Yeah, what? Oh, that was going on. I didn't know anything about that because, yeah, it's like 100 years ago, and being homosexual means you're an outcast, and I wasn't kept to, I wasn't privy to any of that. They kept me separate from all of that. He's my best friend, but I didn't know that any of that was going on the island that I still stayed. But you have to sort of forget about all of that because I'm a homosexual. No, that doesn't wash either. It's 2026. Obviously, being homosexual isn't as controversial now as he thinks it is. It shouldn't be controversial at all, of course. Well said from Corbyn. The goats, yeah. The calamities of your party aside, I've always had a lot of respect for Corbyn. Agree with almost everything he says. To disagree on one or two minor points on issues and things like that. But I'd definitely take him, certainly, any day of the week. And, well, we had that chance collectively twice. Turned it down, unfortunately. But the thing I wanted to point out, so let's finish on a high here, people. That is just with this segment. But we now know for a fact the full true length of Keir Starmer's political career. As Corbyn pointed out, that he was brought in by Blair, Mandelson, others in 2015 to challenge the very man on your screen there. Unfortunately, they just about succeeded won't go into the ins and outs of all that, but that's what happened. That's what the history books will show. That's what any, you know, sociological, political perspective worth its salt will show. And we know that it's going to be all over this year, likely just after the local elections at the very latest. So Keir Starmer, in his political career, lasted 2015 to 2026, will have. Meanwhile, the man on your screen began his career as North Islington MP in 1983. And we don't know when his political career is going to end because he won his seat even without representing Labour. Obviously, Starmer wasn't too pleased about that one either, was he? But it just goes to show, it just went to show that it was all about Corbyn and not about Keith, or not about Labour Party or the state of the Labour Party at that point, with a huge majority as well.
Oh, God!
So after all of that, they thought that he would be in the political wilderness and then never heard of again. Here we are, and he's going to have outlasted Keir Starmer. You know, just as he outlasted others. I mean, can you think about the absolute bastards who've been in government since 1983? So, he was elected in the first election after Thatcher became Prime Minister of the UK. Just if anyone needs any historical perspective on that one. So between Thatcher and now, and he's survived them all. Keith's going to be out this year.
Jurassic Park.
100%. And there's no way with his hubris, with his ego, his I've never lost a fight attitude, that he'll be happy and willing to sit on the back benches and just, even if he won't keep his seat even, I don't think, but even if he does humbly represent the people of Holborn St Pancras, no, he's not that guy. If he's not got a path to the top, or is at the top, he doesn't want to be involved, whether that was in his legal career, finally becoming Director of Public Prosecutions, and then in his political career. I think, you know, he only got in it, again, to topple the man on your screen. It's very obvious to people like us, isn't it, Brew Crew? However, you know, the likes of the Beeb and ITV, other mainstream platforms certainly need to give their heads a wobble where this is concerned, but unfortunately it's so far after the fact now. It's too late to do anything about it. Oh, what? He got... Oh, yeah. God, we didn't realise that at the time. We were too busy trying to convince you all that this guy's an anti-Semite. Oh, they undermined him. Oh, yeah, we... Oh, God, no. We didn't know anything about that at the time. They should hold him to account more, certainly. Starmer, that is, not Corbyn. But we'll have to move on. We're going stateside now, with some more about Pam Bondi's appearance in front of Congress, and Claire Blackwood's parody video earlier on just summed it all up. God. Now, I knew she was bad. We've seen her previously, but this is something else. This is something else. A couple of clips as well as responses. Well, The response from Thomas Massey, that is, who's putting the questions to her here in Congress. Let's see what's happening. Prepare yourselves. This is batshit crazy. It really is. When she's backed into a corner as well, she thinks that she can get... We're talking about the Epstein files here, by the way. Redactions. We're talking about suppression of the files. We're talking about Donald Trump and other people being mentioned in them as well. She thinks at one point she can wash it all away with shouting out the Dow Jones is at 50,000. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy. Imagine, I don't know, what would you say? Imagine if that happened at PMQs or something, or in a committee here. Let's say Matt Hancock's up for, you know, all of the people he killed during COVID or whatever it is, and it's really being put to him. So he's got his ear to a pocket radio or something, or he's looking at his phone, and says, "Oh, never mind that. England are 87 for 5."
Respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed? There was one redaction out of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
Yeah, if you don't know what this bit's about, so he was listed as a co-conspirator. But just let me get this the right way around. It was only after he pointed out to Bondi on social media, I think it was. She tried to cover her tracks about having the name released. Sorry, I'm struggling to put that into words. I know that was a really bad description, but I just can't get over. Just can't fathom how terrible this is.
We invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome. Okay.
He needs to get. You're a failed politician.
He's literally. You're a failed politic. Well, you are here having to answer questions under oath to me. You're the one sitting there making a right twat out of yourself. Where did they... And you know what, as well, where this is concerned, how she can defend the likes of Trump as well is just absolutely revolting. It's just absolutely revolting that she's willing to try and suppress information, to try and keep some of the names hidden, to try and keep a lot of the evidence hidden. Yeah. No sympathy for the victims, no empathy for the... Where do they find absolute trash like this?
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information.
Let's just check this other one out. Sorry about my shitty explanation of the circumstances there.
The Dow right now.
This is the rant about the Dow Jones when backed into a corner.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're.
Okay. Just pause there a minute. I'll give you, if you have the means, open a new tab, check out the Dow right now. Right now, people. It's, we're 5 hours ahead of Eastern Time in the United States. But just before we came on stream, it wasn't at 50,000, it was at 47. believe. So that didn't last long.
Laughing, you're a great stock trader, as I hear.
Check it
Raskin.
right now.
The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost
Answer the question.
7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do?
It's not a political rally here. This isn't a party political broadcast.
Do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, am I...
This lady is some piece of work. But let's, that is enough to make you want to rip your hair out, but we can gain some satisfaction from watching Thomas Massey lay into Bondi now. And then we're going to hear after this session him describing how it went to some journalists as well. That sums it up. But just enjoy this grilling, because he does well in holding it to account, it has to be said.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victims' lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact. A list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there.
Yeah, so they can't say, oh, we didn't even know about this document, because they've gone out of the way to edit it. Caught red-handed.
The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, Fully Redacted. And, by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
It's a better explanation.
Not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking.
Yeah. She was forced into releasing the name after trying to hide it 40 minutes later when he called her out. And then she tried to claim the bragging rights for, oh, well, we told you all about that, for something that she was forced into doing. Every office of the administration has been corrupted. Agree with that point, 100%, Graham. Well, you won't be surprised if Trump was planning to take over Epstein Island. JK, yeah. One of his fucking golden statue colonies. God damn it. It's, a voice makes you want to remove your eardrums with a fish hook. Little snake. Yeah. See where you're coming from with that.
And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need, that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated.
It's just a kid, you know, they're on camera, whatever, or trying to turn a session in Congress into a party political broadcast. They'll talk about full transparency. Let me be clear. Comes up a lot as well, that phrase. And then you see this, look at that. Like just one massive black rectangle. However, the victims' names openly broadcast without consideration or without even being approached. The only focus is on covering up the names of the rich and powerful. And I don't think I'm sticking my neck out too far at all, because others have pointed out other presidents, such as Bill Clinton, in all of this. Famous actors, musicians, sports stars, the whole works. A very famous magician in there as well, I believe. Their protection is the only thing that people like Bondi is concerned about. Self-preservation is the only thing that Donald Trump is concerned about. In the meantime, there are scores, hundreds of victims, because this sick operation went on for decades, let's remind ourselves, people, for years and years. And you look at the evidence that is being brought up, the pictures, videos, Trump, etc., and Epstein together, goes back to the 1980s, early 1990s, and thenceforth, until his arrest and trial. And later death, question mark. Certainly wasn't a suicide. If he was killed, is dead. Don't want to get into that hot potato at the moment. But please, you know, you think at least they can have the decency to try and act like they consider the victims where all this is concerned, but they don't even go so far. They just shout about the Dow fucking Jones.
How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr.
Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
Kentucky. All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in.
Because it's very fundamentally important that the one redaction pertains to him being a co-conspirator. None of the other 4,000, whatever, it could have been 40,000. It's just other stuff. He was just on holiday there, innocently, whatever, air quotes. But yeah, he obviously wasn't. He's a co-conspirator in, again, this trafficking operation, this sick ring involving a billionaire, moneylender, and all kinds of famous people, rich and powerful people. To be a co-conspirator in that is no small thing. It's very important. I'm not going to take her seriously. I'm not even going to take her on.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
I
want you to
watch the video. Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of
bit more of an extended.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the.
This is what Kash Patel said.
Case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my
the
time.
last
I'm
4
glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the way
This
you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back.
There was a time in politics when bugging an office was considered like one of the worst things that a government would ever do. Talking outside of outside of wartime affairs, of course. But look at this. Look at people talk about scandals with JFK and extramarital affairs and this sort of thing, or Bill Clinton was having it off with an intern. Ooh. And then you have this. Oh yeah, this eclipses Watergate, certainly.
Back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to
most
know at
transparent-
what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
That's the legislation that was passed and voted on. On the last stream, we also saw how she lied under oath as well. Yeah. And now this. It's a shameful cover-up. That's the only way you can sum it up. I won't read through that full legislation, but it is in there. It is in there. This is Massey's response to that whole session.
I provided the evidence today that shows that his statements were false under oath. Kash Patel's statements were false. They are in possession. They were in possession at the time, and they're still in possession of evidence that other men participated in the sex trafficking.
Attorney General Bondi didn't seem to directly answer that question. I mean, what do you make of what she did say?
She didn't answer anything. She came here just ready to talk about the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, which seems kind of crazy to me.
I saw another meme. I wish I'd have. I might find it again, but it had the. It's a bit of dark humour, but it was the gates of Auschwitz. It's work sets you free. I break McFry over the top, but instead it said the Dow Jones is at 50,000, or is it 50k? Whatever it actually said, but yeah, sums it up. He did his best though, yeah, she lied under oath. She's not following the legislation. What the hell's going on here? Well, we know what's going on. It's a cover-up. Right, Brew Crew, time for another shout out to the members on the channel. Thank you for the gifted memberships this evening. Just one final soapbox moment. Super chats are still open if you're watching live, as well as super stickers, and there's super thanks if you're watching back later on, as well as a buy me coffee page in the description of any content on the channel. Another quick reminder, people, please do open our most recent video. That is non-stream content. Hit thumbs up, and you should find you have some hype points there if you're watching on mobile or tablet. So please do consider using hype points to support the channel. It's a pretty new feature on YouTube. And of course, thanks to those of you who've hyped videos so far. We've seen in the comments that some of you have been hyping. Solidarity for that. And solidarity to all of those awesome people you just saw on your screen. I'll be bringing this stream to a close shortly, but please stick around, people. We'll be raiding into some other quality content, hopefully, and there's some post-credit shenanigans worth sticking around for. And another great way to help the channel, of course, extending the watch time. The hour grows quite late, so I'm going to be going over to the US and joining this space. Aaron, no hype button. It depends on which country you're watching in, as well as which device. I think it has to be on mobile or tablet. That's what I'm led to believe. Doc hype, H-Y-P-E. Yeah, hype button. If you hit the like button, it should come up. It's not a you know where it says thanks, join, etc. It's not a separate button there. You have to press like, and then sort of a bar opens up underneath. So hype this video, and it will say use whatever, I think like 1,700, whatever it is, hype points. The point is you get 3 per week. You can hype 3 videos per week. Aaron, you thinking it's random? Oh well, we'll have that looked into. Bill, look into that immediately. And when you know, bring the monkeys and apes up to speed on that as well, the IT team. So we're all set to go into MySpace, but do stick around. I'm glad that we had a lot of positive news to go through on tonight's stream. Mandelson in trouble, Bondi making a tit out of herself. At least you can have a bit of a laugh at that. Of course, the marvellous news that Pal Action's prescription was deemed illegal in court today. Solidarity to anybody else watching who took part in those actions as well with DOJ. I know that we have Moishe on Toast watching as well. Graham, thank you very much for that super chat also. Great to have your company as well. Solidarity. And from the river to the sea. I'll give that a thumbs up. I'm sure that all you good people will as well. And big up Graham Turner in the chat for that awesome super chat. Flags as well from Idiosyncrasy. Do appreciate that. Yeah, check out the latest vid from the channel. We'll be back with you with another live stream. Yours truly will be hosting the Sunday live stream again with you, so do hit the notification bell and you won't miss out on that. But as far as this stream's concerned, all that remains is for me to thank you for joining me. say power to the people, free Palestine, Sudan, Lebanon, and the Fulton 24. And don't let the bastards grind you down. Okay, good night everybody, my left, I'll be seeing you soon.
The door is open and you can leave.
It's what Hitler and Goering did, and it is textbook. And if you think the next time it happens, we're gonna recognize it because they're wearing scary uniforms, you're out of your damn